All right, welcome. This is Hendry Parker's legal podcast shorts, where we talk about different legal topics of things that we cover in our practice, things that we get questions often about. And this is just a way for us to kind of allow you to get to know us, what we do, and then maybe even educate you on some of the things that you might have questions about. So the thing that we'd like to talk about today is personal injury. People often ask us, what does that entail? Now, say you get injured. A lot of people like to think car accidents are the only types of injuries, but there's also slip and falls. There's any types of things that can happen. In fact, we were just talking about this earlier. Tonight it's supposed to get very windy out, and people have yard ornaments out for Christmas. And if you don't properly care for those and take them inside tonight, and we get, say, 65-mile-an-hour winds, which we could, a plastic ballistic reindeer goes flying into someone's yard and goes through a window, are you liable for that? And when is it appropriate to get an attorney?
Well, let me ask you, Chris. I'm in Dunedin. I'm on the Pinellas Trail. I'm riding my bicycle. I'm going through the intersection where I have the walk bike white light. Someone makes a right-hand turn, smashes into me, and breaks my leg. What do I do next?
Well, the first thing we're going to have to do, is you're going to go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor immediately. The law actually dictates that you have a couple of weeks to go to the doctor. If you don't and you miss that opportunity, then you're going to have a problem. The first thing you should do is take care of yourself. Make sure that you're cared for. If you have to go to the ER, go to the ER. If you say you broke your leg, you're going to make sure that leg's going to have to get set properly. So you're going to go to the ER and do whatever you got to do.
So I go to the ER. They fix my leg up. They send me home 3 hours later. But then I'm not able to drive my forklift at work for the next month and a half. What do I do?
Well, chances are that the insurance company on the other side, because they're probably going to be deemed at fault in this case, their insurance company for that motorist may take responsibility and say that we're going to pay for your damages, and they're going to make an initial offer that's going to be very appealing to you, and it's going to pay for your bike. It might pay for your medical bills, and you might get a big fat check for, say, $3,000 or $4,000, maybe $5,000, and it's going to sound really good. But here's the big picture that you're not looking at. You just mentioned that you're not able to work.
Right.
So now, did the insurance company that you dealt with, did they consider the fact that you've lost work wages because you were unable to work? You were unable to provide the type of money that you would normally be providing for yourself? Were you unable to do other things because of that leg injury? What else were you not able to do because you broke your leg?
Well, I can't walk around. I can't enjoy life. I like to ride my bike. I'm not able to ride my bike.
And it's very likely that the insurance company, when they deal with you directly, they're not going to consider any of that. They're going to make a quick offer to you, and they're going to want to settle that immediately. So, if you hire an attorney...
So what happens if I say, okay, listen, I'm just going to take that $4,000 and I'll take care of my expenses, but then I'll talk to a lawyer later and try to go after the company?
Well, what you could do is you can really... the statute of limitations on personal injury is 4 years, so you can wait if you need to, but... or if you want to, but that's really going to hurt the ripeness of your case, because as an attorney dealing with your case, I'm going to need a very good snapshot of what happened and what damages were caused. And the longer you wait, the harder it is for me to get that good snapshot. If you're injured in any type of way, we need to know what it was. And we need to not just think about the injuries that you incurred from the direct contact of the car, but the long-standing permanent issues that you might have with your leg from now on because of that accident, which was someone's fault. You may have to live with a limp for the rest of your life. You may have been an avid biker, and now you can't bike the way you used to. That's the type of thing that needs to be considered. Another thing is, in Florida, we have what's called PIP coverage. So your insurance is going to cover...
What does that mean?
Well, your insurance is going to cover the first $10,000 of your damages, no fault, no matter whose fault it is.
Okay.
So that until we get above $10,000 in damages, then we really don't need to fight about it, because your insurance is going to pay for you, and you're going to be fine if you have the PIP insurance. After that $10,000, which we oftentimes get at in a situation like this, if you broke your leg, it's got to be reset. We're talking about x-rays, possible MRIs, damage to any type of permanent damage that it might cause, lack of work, lack of enjoyment, all these things are likely going to get up above $10,000. If you're trying to deal with the insurance company yourself to make these claims, it's going to be very difficult. And they know that you're not a sophisticated negotiator in this area, and nor should you be. This is not what you do. This is what we do.
So I think what you're saying is insurance companies aren't looking out for my best interest?
Well, not always. My family's all from insurance companies. My dad was an adjuster. My grandfather was an adjuster for a combined like 63 years when you put them together. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you how bad insurance companies are and get disowned by my family. But I will tell you, and they'll tell you, that it is a for-profit operation, just like we all are in a capitalist society.
The less they pay, the more they make.
Right, right. So if they're out there just trying to pay for everyone's damages down to the penny, they're not going to make as much money, and their shareholders aren't going to be happy with them. So if they can get out of making a payment that they don't have to make, they can. So if they can make that quick offer for $5,000, $6,000 on your broken leg case, they might make it. Even though your PIP is paying for some of those things, it still might not cover the damages. So if you come into us for a free consultation, we're going to take a look at that, and we are going to be able to assess how much your case is worth. We're going to be able to see what kind of damages that you have. We're going to see out the entire medical experience that you're having. If you need to go to rehabilitation or physical therapy, if the doctor's going to have a final report that basically says, he has permanent damage to his leg, it's going to take a while to get to that, because we're going to have to find out through different types of things, different types of therapies, different types of surgeries, whether or not we can even get this resolved without it being permanent. So it's going to take some time, and to buy that time, sometimes it's good to have an attorney who's going to work with you and work with the insurance company and make sure that this is done the proper way.
So building and maintaining a timeline from the time of the accident on is very important.
Very important. And so it's good to call an attorney. At first, take care of yourself. And then we hear a lot of these call Gary or ask Gary.
Right.
Deal with a company like Morgan & Morgan or some of these other very huge nationwide law firms. You're probably not going to deal with the person that's on the commercial. And you also want to know that person that you are dealing with who's handling your case, how many times have they gone to trial? What kind of awards have they gotten? You've got to ask those questions. When you're dealing with us, we can tell you directly how many trials we've gone to, and between us, we probably have about 80 trials between us. Not all personal injury trials, but they're trials nonetheless. We've been in front of juries. We've made our cases. So if you come in with us, you know what you're working with. So give us a call, 727-205-5555, or you can come in at 1004 Broadway in Dunedin, Florida. Come in, check us out. Free consultation. We'll assess your case.
We'd be glad to talk to you.
Yeah, and we'd like to fight for you. So let us know. Don't call Gary. Call us.
Thanks.